Yo, 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 what is up, everybody? It's your boy, Blaze McCoy. We're back live with another live report from the WrestleSense podcast, boys, here on the Blaze Radio Network, here on YouTube, of course. Gotta say what's up to y'all in the live chat right off the bat. Wally's coming in from the side. How about it? No surprise there. Appreciate you guys, man. You guys are great. Same thing with PFW, Big Tito, my man. Good to see you as well. Cody Hagan's got his popcorn. What's up, Cody? Good to see you. Good to see you, my friend. Andy Price on the other side of the planet. You know it. What's happening, my friend? Yeah, make sure you guys vote on the poll in the live chat. Get your votes in now. Throughout the show, we will be talking about the results of that poll later on in the show. So check it out. Good to see each and every one of you. Hope you guys are having a good week. We got plenty to talk about. So let's talk about some wrestling. Jamar's in the house. Good to see you, Jamar. Welcome in. Yes, we got even breaking news from Cody before we started, and we'll get to that as well later on in the program. So there's always something going down, and we'll be discussing some top news, if you will, for the past week, as well as revisiting our little Ric Flair segment, and we're going to preview the Forbidden Door pay-per-view coming up this weekend as well. So let's bring on Doc. What's happening, friend?
What's up, dog? I'm excited about tonight. I'm excited about Forbidden Door. I'm excited to talk about some wrestling tonight. It's going to be an awesome meeting.
Yeah, I think it will be too, man. I'm trying to get more hype for the show. We talked about it last week, how disappointing a little bit with the injuries and people that can't make it. Now I'm hearing about all these AAA guys like Andrade and stuff that can't go. I mean, I'm trying not to be too disappointed before the show starts because I know it's going to be good wrestling. You know what I mean?
It's going to be phenomenal wrestling. It's just the fact that, so unfortunately these things happen when you try to do interpromotional shows. There's always some kind of bullshit going on. That happens here in Pennsylvania even. Trust me on that one. You couldn't even imagine.
You like matches having to change and stuff like that, and people can't show. And, I think it's going to be a good show regardless. What do you think, CJ? What's happening, my friend? He's always excited. Talk about being excited.
I think it's going to be a good show. I'm I wouldn't say not a fan of New Japan. I just don't watch it religiously well enough to know about it. So I think it's gonna be some interesting matches for sure.
I'll be the easy E. Who are they? Who cares?
I'm not gonna say who
I'm
are
like,
they.
listen.
I'm not a big
either.
fan.
That was my
I know.
easy E.
Yeah.
But
Just enjoy it, man. Just
here's
enjoy
what-
it and
here's the way
learn. Learn
exactly.
from it.
And even some of the names that I don't know, because I am a little familiar with a handful of them, I'm excited about learning about these other names. There's a reason they're on this card. That's how I'm looking at it. And from what I keep hearing from all these different podcasts and placing reviews and previews, is that one thing you're getting for New Japan Wrestling is good actual wrestling.
Yes, for sure.
Like you're going to get
a
good, contest.
Yeah.
You know,
Oh, yeah.
a little bit of storytelling and a fighting and stuff and everything. And that's good. That's what we want. We don't need all the fluff and bullshit. So we'll get to that. We'll get to the Flair segment. We're going to go right to the side and start trying to make some sense of some shit going down right now. So we've been starting the last couple shows with like a quick segment to go over some of the quick hits with the big news for the week. And well, fortunately for the show and for wrestling recently, the past few weeks, there's something big. It seems every week, for some reason. But this week, I guess not as much, but still some fun stuff to talk about and some big news. Let's kick it off over in WWE with Brock coming back.
That was a break the glass in case of emergency type of situation.
Yes, it was.
Yeah.
Yes, it was. And I mean, I can only say this about this, piggybacking off of CJ. TBS, the channel, Superstation. A lot of people watch it, right? What do they show on there all the time? Other than AEW. I mean, of course.
Lots of movies.
Lots of movies and lots of reruns. Yeah, WWE is reminding me of TBS because have we not seen this before?
Yeah.
Yeah, but you know what? I'm
for years too.
I'm okay with it. Actually, I'm okay with it. I don't mind seeing it again.
I know, but God,
you got to throw someone off the bench. I guess I could look at it optimistically and say at least it's Brock. But then to see again, and I guess that's where you come from, CJ. Like if you got to pull from a third stringer, which technically I'm not saying he's a third string. I'm saying injury, and now here's your.
And I don't think it had really anything to do with injuries. I think it was to take the heat off of VKM.
Yeah, well, we talked about Riddle, and we'll hit on him. We've talked about Riddle.
That match was fucking phenomenal.
The Riddle, Orton, and Drew, the trilogy, the three that they said like last month that's the way it's going to go. And I was like, I heard that from so many people, and I was like, I really hope that's not true. I didn't want it because of injuries, but it doesn't look like Orton's number 2 because the news was Orton's out for the rest of the year now, apparently.
Oh, no.
So... and things can change. Like they're even saying Cody Rhodes is not accepting the terms that they're giving him for his return. He wants to come back sooner. So I mean, of course he does. Of course he does. Everyone would want to come back sooner.
He's Cody Rhodes. He wrestled with a torn fucking pec.
Yep. So I wouldn't doubt it. Drum Monkey's here. What's happening, Drum Monkey? Good to see you, man. So I think just like CJ said, break glass when emergency. Hey, we still got Brock on the payroll. Can we afford him for this one? Sure. And the deflection off of something we'll be talking about very shortly, of course. This is the very phenomenal news, very low end news, but Jordan Devlin is now known as JD McDonough.
I like that, actually. I like it.
Yeah, Jordan Devlin.
You know who he is. It's so insulting.
This is
fucking insulting.
Like it's not Gunther.
It's obviously the norm though. Now at this point, we just got to accept. I'm with you, Doc, but at this point, we got to accept it, right?
At least
are they gonna make him look like a newsie, like they did Pete Dunne?
I don't know.
From the Disney movie The Newsies. Anybody remember that?
I'll be honest. I'm kind of grown with Gunther now for some reason.
I'm not, but I don't mind JD McDonough.
It's not a bad rename if you're gonna rename.
Is he moved up? Is he going to one of the big leagues?
It's coming soon.
Is he coming soon like Veer? Or
I think that,
is he,
I think it's just NXT.
Is he like Blue?
I just thought it'd be something funny to talk about. Well, speaking of something funny to talk about, and we were about to talk about it right before. So I mentioned it last week. I was like, Elias is coming back. Where are they going to go with it? I mean,
love
they
it.
did throw a little curveball at the end, going a little even differently. But what do you think, CJ? Go ahead.
I loved it. Loved it, loved it, loved it. And I hope they do more of it.
Yeah, it's
I'm excited.
Doc?
I'm excited about it. I was praying for Damian Sandow to be Elias, but whenever I think you will see some kind of different changes when Kevin Owens says, "Hey, I want a tag team match," and everybody's gonna be like, "Ooh, what's gonna happen?" And then you're gonna see that crowd's gonna pop. Whatever they do, it's gonna be hilarious.
Yeah.
Yeah, entertaining at the least throughout the entire thing, man. And I look forward to it. I want them to continue it. And anything with Kevin Owens recently has been.
And I mean, you could go a million different directions with this.
Well, they're going this direction, obviously, because Kevin Owens brought up, "I don't even care. I'll fight your third brother, Elrod." So now, literally,
I mean,
he might bring someone else into play. Fucking Elrod. So, I mean, I love this shit. I mean, it does give you something to, at least, you might crack up and laugh. And KO, I heard someone speaking earlier, and I'm not against this at all. Him and Sammy getting back together as a tag team and running for the belts.
That would be awesome.
I would love to
be excited about that.
I wouldn't mind it, but I'd like to see Owens get a bigger singles push.
If he's not going to get that world title top tier push, which he should after signing that big ass contract.
Absolutely.
Yeah. Hopefully it's sooner than later, but it doesn't seem like it's going to be. We'll see. But yeah, the Elias shit's pretty good.
Yeah.
Okay, we have to talk about Vince, of course, and
how he almost fell down the steps getting out of the ring.
Well, the first thing is the fact that he not only showed up on SmackDown, but he also showed up on Raw, and it's just a slap in the face, basically, to the whole thing, in my opinion. What's your take on it? Like him just showing up on both.
I love it.
I think it's a whose dick's bigger situation, me or the media. I'll show you.
Vince is always
I'll do what I want. Yeah.
It's like I'm the boss. I'm gonna show you I'm still here. And then the incident, and to bring up, for something so trivial like it's the 1,517th fucking edition. Like he doesn't have a reason to be out there. He's coming out there just to throw in everyone's face that even though he's against all the charges and stuff, it's like, I don't care. I've been against.
He's the genetic jackhammer.
That's a G. Like, and the memes. Here's the memes in the past.
Meet your daddy.
And now he has a new meme, thanks to what you guys were alluding to, his little funky exit, because he's all jacked up. He had to leap with like 1 foot. So this picture turned into a lot of fun on the internet. So
God, they were amazing.
I had to keep running with it, and let's just enjoy it for a little bit. The Joker one, of course, is pretty good.
I didn't see that one.
There was one with the actual Joker face on it, but there's him playing soccer, of course. Of course, soccer. The last one I think is the best. I mean, he's got into video games. Look, he even gets some success in the video games too. My favorite part of the little. There you go. Good job, Vince.
We're sorry, but your mistress is in the other castle.
This one came out earlier today.
Good.
That's a really good one.
That's a good one.
It's like, now they got to make that happen when Randy comes back. Well, though, honestly, it doesn't sound like any good news from his camp for him coming back. He said getting down and dirty with the boys.
Yeah,
fits awesome. Right in, man. It just looks like he's getting it. Because we've seen him act a fool too.
Is it bad that I know that that's P. Diddy and the guys from Making the Band on MTV?
No, there you go.
No, day 26. Day 26.
His bags under his eyes is bigger than his balls.
Ouch. About all that.
For a good one. Triple H or Stephanie. Well, the news, we really didn't cover the Stephanie stuff that much. The fact that she's been put back in charge as he stepped down from CEO, and Triple H is now rumored
back in
he's back with NXT.
I'm back, which is good news. Very good.
But did you guys see the picture of the logo yet? Yeah, the in living color bullshit is gone. All
good.
You sure that wasn't a fake? I saw a lot of people saying that was a fake logo.
Oh, I don't know. I saw it and I was like, oh, please let this.
Did you look in the comments? Because I saw the one post. There's a million comments that say this isn't real. I hope it is. I would love to.
I hope it's real.
I hope it is too. I hope he takes it back, and I hope he goes. By the way, we're changing everybody's name back. Make it.
Yeah. Skate or die.
I was gonna say Vince McMahon's pro skater.
Is he doing a kickflip or an ollie right there? I'm not sure.
I don't know.
He's doing it from the side.
This is my favorite one, I think.
Dude, yes.
Bye, bye, bye. Yes.
Love it. That is the best one.
So Vince pretty much throwing it in everybody's face that even though
Good for him.
Yeah, I guess it's such a Vince thing to do though, right?
Yeah.
I'm like, just like when we heard the news, it wasn't a surprise. Like even him doing this, like I was surprised when he came out on Raw, like, oh, he's coming back out. But it was to no doubt shove it in everyone's face that he's still the man, he's still here, and he can still do that.
And he ain't going nowhere.
Yeah, because it's like you're waiting to see the big news, and there was never any big news. So it's like
it was to hype him up for John Cena on Monday.
Yeah, to mention the Cena return as well. I'm sure we'll be talking
I agree,
about that.
Kelly. Don't ruin it in sync.
When he comes, yeah. Oh, geez. Yeah, but we'll wait and see. But we got some question marks. There is a poll in the live chat for you guys to pick as well. Let us know what you think about it. We'll be going over Forbidden Door here momentarily. We're going to continue our series of segments on Ric Flair. And there was a press conference earlier today as well that we'll get into a little bit about his final match and the card that they're starting to build around it, which it looks like it might be pretty good. So let's get into Sixth Senses right off.
Yeah, they can move to this. Your soul, man, they can move to this. It's brand new. Yeah. Open your eyes and realize it's the new guys. Y'all familiar.
So Conrad Thompson, who's actually the son-in-law of Ric Flair, his oldest daughter's husband, and Jim in Crockett Promotions basically is running this Flair's last match show at the end of next month. So every week we're doing something a little bit on Flair. Last week was the different stables that he was in, and we talked about the TNA ones and then the obvious ones like the big ones.
Fortune.
Sorry. Yeah, and Fortune. Fortunes is what he should be now when he gets rolled.
Wow.
But tonight, greatest matches. We could do a whole show on this. I tried to condense it, but and we'll also talk about the press conference at the end as well. So I found a top 10 list, but 4 of the matches were from the same dude for greatest matches of Ric Flair. Now, I also found some kind of tying two together a list of his top rivals. So this is kind of a top 10 list, even though I said 6. The top 6, and there's 4 extra ones that we'll consider rivalries as well. So the first match that they had listed, and they were rated out of I forget what the name of the scale was. They used to rate them back in the 80s and early 90s, but it was 9.0 or more was considered one of the best matches of the year and such. But this
that'd be like 5 stars.
Yeah, like today. So some of these I'll let you know they're like 9.03, 9.14. That's the reason they were ranked as the top 5. Now we can agree or disagree. Of course, there's always room for debate here, friendly debate. We'll talk about 4 of his rivals as well, and we'll talk about more about Sting at the end as a rival, as well as this match, which was the Great American Bash March. No, this is actually First Raw. But the Great American Bash one, I used the wrong picture, was March 27, 1988. And they wrestled to a draw. And that's a trend here as well. The Terry Funk match was an I Quit match here you're seeing from Clash of Champions 1989 as well. And we'll see a trend of a lot of blood in Flair's big matches.
No.
Not Flair, never.
Red means green. Red means green.
Yeah, true. And they had the War Games match with the NWO and
Flair could fart.
And I was kind of the same way at first, CJ, but I was like, well, since we're doing the rivalries too, it covers a lot. Let's do one group one. Because we'll talk about something else that kind of astounded me that I found out through these. But this one was Fall Brawl 96. It was the NWO versus Sting, Luger, Arn, and Flair. And this was like not prime, but pretty much prime NWO. And this is the group you're getting here, these boys.
Wasn't that when Perfect turned on him?
Yes.
Okay.
And here's a little look inside. I love the War Games matches. I'm really hyped for Blood and Guts next week because it's more close to a traditional War Games style match like we're seeing here than what WWE put on. Now, the one thing about correct me if I'm wrong, but I think it's a bigger cage in
for
AEW.
Blood and Guts?
Yeah, for Blood and Guts
it
is.
It's
way bigger.
But it also has like a space on one of the sides. More on one side, I think, or something. I remember it was something structurally a little different with AEW's War Games, but more close to this.
It's
which
definitely
is old
bigger,
school.
though.
The next one was the retirement match.
I was there
WrestleMania
live for this.
24. You were at the show?
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
This was March 30th, 2008. So,
Yeah,
So-
I was there.
I hate to take the heel turn, but I will on this one. CJ, do you feel right now, like with Flair going back to having one last match, do you think maybe you feel cheated? Because
I don't think he should have.
well,
a
he
match,
fought after
period.
this too. He fought in TNA
I know,
after this.
I know he did, but I'm just saying why this right here was the best send off you could
It would
ever
be,
have.
yeah, the perfect ending, definitely.
Right.
I mean,
agree.
people, grown men cried
True.
everywhere.
But I like to play
It
other
was
side
my
of the
God.
coin, devil's advocate.
And again, I don't think he should wrestle. I mean,
And that's what I'm the same way. But I'm just to play devil's advocate on the other side of the
Yeah.
coin. Like I say, I like to do that just to make banter and debate.
right.
I'm Ric Flair. I still want to fight. Why shouldn't I? You know what I'm saying?
And I agree with that.
TNA's giving me a decent chunk. He says now with his cameo stuff, he made enough money. He doesn't need to do this for money. He's like, his cameo, he could live the rest of his life happy. And the interview is pretty good on his little thing. We'll talk about it in a minute. But here's just a little bit of look. I mean, this was towards the tail end of Ric Flair's end of his career. It was literally supposed to be the end of his career. He was older, but it was still a really good match. It ends with the old I love you. I'm sorry.
Yeah.
The old yeller.
I have my VIP pass from this show.
There's a classic Flair move right there. The old
How far up were you? Did you have pretty decent seats?
Yeah, we've got pretty decent seats. Yeah, I went with actually Teddy Fine, and he got us VIP pass for prior to the show because of the multimedia design shit he's done for his personal job. So we got the hookup, man. It was awesome. It was a good time.
Shreddy, Brooklyn Joker. Good to see you guys piling in. Yeah, we'll talk about that one, Yeti, of course. He took a good one to the chin there. I mean,
yeah, he did. Sean always threw him tight.
It wasn't a weak one, that's for sure, on the old man. But he kissed him on the old forehead, says sorry, good night, put him to bed, and cry. Sorry, Rick.
Yeah,
it was supposedly over, but I'm with you, Doc. I think it should have been the end, but it wasn't. And then we saw the little run in TNA, and we'll talk about that in a little bit, and then we'll talk about his final match. And it's still to determine who it's going to be against. I remember this because I had the VHS. This was the tag team tournament. There was 2 days in a row. And even if you won on day one, you fought again on day one. It was like an old high school, bring all the local
like an actual
bracket.
Tournament.
Yeah, like a bracket. Yeah, and it was so cool. Because I'm a big college basketball bracketology March Madness fan too. So that would kind of gave that feel to a wrestling thing because you're like, oh, I saw these guys fight earlier. Now they're back. Oh, that dude still has that bandage on his eye from the fight earlier and stuff. Like they tied a bunch of shit together. I saw, but one of the main events on night 2 was Flair versus Wyndham, which again came to a time limit draw. But it was such an epic match. I loved Barry Windham back then. He was one of my favorite horsemen. Everyone goes back to Arn and Ole. I like Wyndham better in there instead of Ole. If I would pick my dream horseman, that's the only change I'd make is Wyndham. But of course I got to have something you can barely read on here. But the thing was
can't understand
that Dusty Rhodes and Nikita Koloff won it against Luger.
That's right.
Luger and Tully Blanchard that first year. And you see Ole fought Big Bubba, who ended up being Boss Man.
Yeah,
I liked him better as Big Bubba Rogers. I really did. The henchman
except
came out with
for
his
that bunkhouse match or whatever they did
God.
in WCW.
I thought you were talking about the bunkhouse stampede from WCW because I kind of liked it. That was
or was it they were in the back of the 18-wheeler or something? It was stupid.
Oh, the bunkhouse stampede I remember from the 80s in WCW is they had a series of the whole summer. They had all these cage matches.
No, it wasn't that.
And all the winners of the cage matches fought in the end in a 6-person cage match with no rules, and Dusty won it. I'll never forget that. I thought it was a cool concept to have basically a cage tournament.
Yeah.
My favorite belt of all time.
Tommy Young. Is that Mr. Tommy Young?
We'll talk about the belts and still champion Ric Flair. It was like I said, time limit draw though. But still a great match. And then a trilogy. There's 3 matches. There was the Chi-Town Rumble of 89, Clash of Champions, and Wrestle War. So Steamboat and Flair always put on great fights. These 3 matches all in the same year are considered number 1, 2, and 3 of Flair's, what they're saying in this one.
Flair and Steamboat, man, you can't ask for a better clinic. You can't ask for better tape to watch if you're actually up and coming and starting. You want to see some inspiration. It's these two. If you look at Flair's Hall of Fame speech, who Steamboat inducted him, and Flair said, "I want you to be." Even though that left, he said, "I want to lock up one more time," and he actually had Steamboat lock up with him, if you guys remember.
Yeah,
during his, and that hit me, man. That was one of the best because I loved Ricky Steamboat. He's still one of the. I don't know. He's still in my eyes as one of the top 5 wrestlers.
And
it's
another
era.
It's another big, huge feud that was not only in one company but another one as well. Like they carried it on. Like it was like a feud that could go on forever. That year, that was a 9.49 was the ranking for it. They got that the number 1.
Mm-hmm.
The Barry Windham matches, there was 2. He fought another one to a double count up, but those got 9.4, 9.3. So the 9.5 was the biggest was a Chi-Town Rumble match, which, like we said, every one of those were great. Now, and I found rivalries. So there's a couple rivalries. Obviously, Steamboat was one of the main rivalries, but there was enough ones to throw in honorable mentions here, and Savage was one.
Savage and him and Savage put together that, they spent like, what, a week or 2. Actually, Savage stayed at Ric Flair's house for that WrestleMania match
really?
and wrote every move down piece by piece, just like he did Steamboat for WrestleMania. And they would quiz each other. And Savage lived with Flair for about a week and a half, and and he was like, "I don't know if I got room for you, Randy." And Randy's like, "Well, yeah, I'll stay on the couch." He wanted it to be the best. So, God bless him, man.
Hell yes, Earl Cole.
Why he was one of the greatest. That's why I think Savage is one of the greatest of all times, because he was so a master of his craft, and he wanted to entertain the fans.
Hell yes. And that's why when I saw this list, I was like, I had to cover the rest of these guys too. So the old Macho Man, and same thing. It went in between companies too. They fought each other in both WCW and in. Here's another WrestleMania match. There's a little taste of them. Oh yeah, I missed the Macho Man.
Oh yeah.
Dusty Rhodes.
Him and Dusty got to be up there too, man.
Now in rivalries, I couldn't believe this. They have fought in 1972 and they fought in 2001.
Yeah, they did.
That's ridiculous. Yeah, Dusty and Flair. The chase for the belt, it was always Dusty. Flair, the arrogant, and they were on the same side a few times too throughout their career.
I had this videotape and I wore it out. It was one of the best cage matches ever. Was Starrcade 85.
Starrcade 85.
It had so many good matches on it. You had I think it was Hector Guerrero versus Abdullah the Butcher and a Mexican. No, excuse me, Manny Fernandez, the Raging Bull, versus Abdullah the Butcher in a Mexican hat match, which you wouldn't see anymore now.
No.
But Tully Blanchard versus Magnum Ta was one of the feuds I was very invested in because I hated Tully Blanchard at that point. He was one of the. I mean, he made you invested.
Yeah, he
was hated. With him and Magnum Ta in that I Quit match, and Magnum Ta shattering that wooden chair, taking and making a spike and just driving it and making Tully Blanchard say I quit.
Yeah, Magnum Ta is one of those guys that who knows what would have happened if he would have stuck around. Like that wreck. So
I was always a big
fan
of Magnum Ta.
It's one of my favorites, man.
Poster there with those two. Yeah, the Dream and the Nature Boy, and there was the promos, obviously, that they cut back in the day. I mean, those two were always energetic. They were always getting at it, and always dressed good as well. This is look at this ref. This is why I picked this one up.
I was about that. Was he wearing
like blue jeans?
Hey man,
he got some Jordache jeans on or something too, like back in the day.
Yeah, baby.
Hey, maybe he forgot his gear, okay? Give the guy a break.
I mean,
not for the Flair Dusty match.
I know.
Come on, bro.
I'm sure he got shit backstage for that.
The trend of blood, of course, when these two fought. And championship matches, of course, with Flair, and both of them having enough title shots and fights. Well, at least over in WCW. Harley Race, the legendary.
That's another good one. Another
Harley
good one.
Race.
That's who he won his first world title off of.
Yep. Yes, indeed. I love Harley Race's little afro.
Hey, you didn't fuck with Harley Race, though. Harley Race put a cigarette out in your chest in the locker room. He didn't give a shit. He didn't care who it was. He'd smack the shit out of you. But the thing was, he was all about, I think, he gave Flair a hard time when he first started. If you watch, I think there was a documentary, and he actually put Flair over because he said, this kid's put in his time. this kid, I respect this kid. It takes a lot to earn respect from Harley Race.
Yeah, he's big one. He's one that I'm sure is on a good bit of people's Mount Rushmore of wrestling for honestly Race. More blood and a little more blood as they continue to fight. The trend of Flair bleeding. Look at that one. That's a crazy.
That's
one.
a good
my
one.
God.
Yeah, that's Crimson Mask.
Is it? Yeah, that's
like
great.
It's like sideshow Bob gone wrong on that.
I love it.
Yeah, really.
Love it.
When he got pink hair, when his hair started turning like that pinkish color, he was Flair's bleeding again, even fighting over in Japan. Harley Race. Now here's the one, and I want people to help me try to understand this one too. This is the one that back in the day, a lot of people wanted to see because it's Flair was the big over here and Hogan was the big one over here. And then after they finally did, it was like, number one, not like the most amazing matches, of course. It's Flair and Hogan, but entertaining they could be. They fought in 122 matches.
I wouldn't have guessed that.
Me either. When I saw the list, I was like, what in the fuck? So I had to dig into it. And I want to ask you guys too, before we go into the Hogan rivalry. How many matches do you guys think, and this is whether it's DQ, count out, pinfall, submission, how many do you guys think Hogan won? Let me know in the live chat. Put the number.
Out of 120?
Out of 122 matches, I want you guys to tell me how many that Hogan won in the live chat. Let me know. We got 12 people in here. We got a dozen folks.
120 matches.
Yeah. Take a wild guess.
I'm going 72.
So CJ says Hogan won 72, which would be the majority. What do you think?
Hogan versus Flair.
Joker says 50.
I'm going to go with, honestly, you're going to laugh at this, but Hogan was always a stickler for him going over. So I'm going to go with 97.
97, okay.
Yeah.
Now, I know the longer this goes, the more someone's going to get it in the live chat because of Google.
Okay.
Yeah. Well,
but someone's going to Google it and get the number.
That's not fair.
No, well.
Yeah.
Well,
I'm calling bullshit.
Yeti says 115, so we got both sides of the coin here. Earl says 7 that Hogan won, and
no, wait.
And the ref, so 80. Yeah. No, that was Wally says 80. Earl changed this to 71. He meant to put not just 7. Okay,
I was going to say.
Hey, that's what I'm saying. You never know. Joker, what did he say? 50. All right. So obviously it wasn't just a random number or a normal number, or I wouldn't be talking about it. 102.
Damn, I was close.
Yeah, you were. You had the right thought. Your frame of mind.
102.
Majority of them were countouts, believe it or not.
Yeah, because
still
probably
a W in the record books.
Yes. A lot of them were like overseas. Like I have the list, but you'll never be able to see on it. They fought a whole bunch of times, like overseas at one point. Like here's 94, Germany. That's all in the same week. They fought each other. They
were all countouts?
No, those were Hogan pin Flairs. All those. But majority of them were countouts. There's now, keep in mind, 6-man matches, tag teams. Those are all included in that 120.
Oh, see, I didn't know that.
There's a 3-tier cage match.
I thought you meant it was 122 singles matches.
No. This is matches where they were in together. I should have specified. So one was the lumberjack match. There was War Games. The War Games matches are in there. The 3-tier cage matches in there.
See, that probably would have changed my answer a little bit.
Yeah, there was 6-man tag and tag matches. Not a lot of them. Majority of them are one-on-one. But
I was shocked that I guessed that almost. Damn.
Yeah. I just started saying, I was like, I think Doc might have it here.
Yeah, I just started thinking about the way Hogan, just the stories you hear, especially like when the Undertaker talked about when he had a job to him and give him the belt, remember, and he laid down, oh, dude, and all that. And I mean, it kills me because the Hulkamaniac in me when I was a kid, it's
true. Yeah, me too.
Just kills it.
But I mean, in hindsight, now thinking about it, it's like, it kind of makes sense to me that more blood, obviously, that Flair would have lost more matches, but I didn't think it was that big of a margin.
Right.
There was 3 no contests, one in 99, one in 2000, one in 2010, which I think is the last time they fought. Yeah, 2010, Orlando, Florida.
Did you see the meme they ever made of this?
That might have been a TNA one.
Did you ever see the meme they made of this picture? It was and it says when American Airlines wants you off their plane.
Oh, geez. That's
I
a
like
bloody
it.
mess.
Yeah.
We'll get to the theme of the blood too, because I got news on that coming up too. And then this is at the end there, Sting and Flair. We want to talk about the Sting feud. This is towards the end. We talked about the beginning back in the Great American Bash time. But I found a little list, so there's like a top 5 here of Sting. This is my favorite by far. Even though I'm a huge Dusty fan, their feud by far, Flair and Sting were my favorites. Those are 2 of my top 5.
Okay.
Every time they fought.
The last time they fought, or the last match in WCW, he wanted it to be Sting.
Yep, we're going to talk about that right here
Nitro.
because here's the first Clash of Champions, 1988, and that is there's in this top 5. It's all Sting Flair. 1988. I'm sorry, Clash of Champions 1. We already talked about that one beginning of the show. That was ranked number 6 overall. Sting beats Flair, Great American Bash 1990. I bet you there was blood in that one too. There's the first Nitro, which we talked about at the very beginning. In 95. Title unification in 94 at the Clash of Champions. I loved the Clash of Champions shit back then, by the way. That was one of my favorites.
then.
PBS show those bad boys.
Yeah,
That was great.
I was like, oh, it's going to be a great show now. The final Nitro. The multicast with the split screen and all that good stuff.
Yeah.
Yep.
And like you were saying, they wanted this to be the last match. And it was.
And you know what? That's a good way to close the book. You know, you get the first match of Nitro and then the last. You know, you can't. That's a perfect story.
Now, this at this point in time is Flair's actual last match.
Oh, wow.
That would have been it. But
Yeah,
now he's got another one. Now, unless, correct me if I'm wrong, or I couldn't find anything that he fought like a tag match or a 6-man since this.
No, he didn't after that. It was that right
So
there.
I think, and then he had all those health problems. Remember, he almost died like twice. And now the press conference, it's funny because and even today I can start on the press conference because we're going to get into it. One of the quotes he said he's not really worried about his health issues for this match. If his pacemaker comes out, he can just plug it back in, he said. Like it's that easy. And he's like, and I'm not really worried about
That's
my blood.
just asinine.
He's like, I'm not taking blood thinners that day, and that's the blood theme. He plans on blading. He was talking about using some. So he's like, he pretty much made it known.
He talked about it on the podcast. I listened to him and Conrad, the podcast from this week.
So he's when I saw this, I thought when I first saw the beginning of the thing, I was like, oh, he's fighting Jarrett.
Who's that next to Jarrett?
The deputy mayor of Nashville.
Okay.
And she had some good stuff to say too.
And that the guy at the podium, I think, has something to do with the Tennessee Titans.
Yeah, I think so. And that's Crockett over there with Flair.
Yeah.
Now the robe that's there was the first robe made for him, and they are auctioning this off during that weekend for addiction victims.
I dig it.
Conrad Thompson will have that in his living room.
Oh, sure he will.
They're going to auction that off for victims of addiction. Literally on that weekend, they're making they're doing the road.
Charles Robinson might want to because that dude from the Shit Row or whatever they were called stole his other
treasures.
One. Yeah,
I think the roast of Flair. The roast of Flair is probably going to be gold because he knows a lot of celebrities. Yeah. He knows Snoop.
Oh,
he already said Flo Rida is going to be there. He goes, what are they going to say about me? Because I'm going to have something to say about them.
Where's this going to be on? What's the roast?
On Fight TV.
It's on Fight.
On Fight.
The fight is Friday, and there's like 10 different packages. Oh, my goodness. One's like $200 to get the whole package to watch every event on that weekend. But
I'll have mine for free $99.
$3.99. It's $34.99, I think, just for the fight, the show.
I would love to see this.
Which I thought they were naming matches. And even Jared said it's not. He kind of said he didn't say it definitely wasn't him, but he didn't reply that it was either. He said he couldn't, But right before this, I was watching a podcast, and one of the guys from Fightful would look down, and he was like, "Oh my!" And the other guy's like, "Tell me, break the news." And he's like, "Well, I don't want to report it yet because it's not like definitely reported." And they were like, "It's who Flair's fighting." And he's like, "It looks like he swerved everybody." That's all he said. And he's like, "I'll bring it up later once it's verified." So it might not be the 6-man tag with FTR and the guest person and Flair and whoever in the Rock and Roll Express. So I thought
Jarrett looks amazing.
Yeah, he does.
They all had a lot of good stuff, obviously, to say about history of wrestling and Nashville, Tennessee, and all that, and the fact that they're starting it at 6:05 on Sunday. So they're doing the whole spiel. And they started naming matches, which was great, which I didn't realize. And there was a couple good ones. Flair got in a couple good little jokes and ribs, of course. He said he was going to do everything. He said he was going to do everything he planned on doing. Here's the first match they booked.
I heard that's badass.
And I'm down for this.
Yeah, me too.
They used to. Didn't they fight before? Didn't they have a huge feud in Impact? Yeah,
that's right. Yep. They announced it as a big rematch, which is good. I'm wondering if they're going to pick from like any other companies, or they're just allowed to get Impact people, or I'm not sure.
My understanding is they'll probably be trying to get from other promotions. I'm sure you'll have some AEW, I'd imagine.
Yeah, well, I guess if FTR was rumored, there's the answer to that question as well.
Yeah.
But they mentioned a Impact Championship match as well, and it is Josh Alexander versus Fatu. So that'd be a good match too.
And Fatu's actually representing Major League Wrestling, MLW.
Yeah.
Oh, there you go.
I've never seen him work.
Pennsylvania native.
So like the trend of inter-promotional top wrestling to lead into our final segment definitely kind of is a lot of the news right now, except for like the Vince stuff, which a lot of people are still talking about Vince.
I already forgot about it.
The Sasha Banks and Naomi stuff. Sasha now, it hasn't been confirmed, but there's a lot of rumors and people saying she has been released.
Yeah,
it was done a couple weeks
they were
ago.
talking. I listened to You Didn't Know. It's Road Dogg and Ryan Katz, and they were talking about it today.
I heard Road Dogg had some interesting stuff he said about how he was worked like a damn dog while he was there towards the end, and he didn't.
Yeah, I didn't finish the whole podcast. I'm like an hour into it, but to piggyback off the Sasha thing, they talk a good bit about how, even if you're not in the family anymore, you should keep the business off of social media and whatnot, because some things are just better left, unsaid. And I agree. But they also did say that if, this was over a whole creative thing, you just got to do the business, man, no matter what.
I mean, they've already been called unprofessional. They got to agree with that. I agree with that statement. What else?
I see both sides of it, though.
Yeah, me too. Me too. All right, cruising right along here, folks, as always. And now we get one of us will be I guess Doc and Ray is actually the big picker champion right now going into Forbidden Door. And we mentioned it a little bit at the very beginning of the show. I want to be excited about Forbidden Door, but it's a little bit disappointing because of some of the big names that aren't there. But I got to have faith in Tony Khan trying to put on a pretty damn good show for us.
I think you're going to be pleasantly surprised.
And now that it's announced as an annual thing, I look forward to.
Well, is it announced? I know they want it to be.
He said he wants it. He said this is going to be an annual thing. If he can't help it, I mean, a year of wrestling could be eternity. But
it could change.
I've already heard the rumors, and I hope the end of the show with Okada and Omega to tease Omega Okada 4 next year at Forbidden Door. I wouldn't mind that. Like sometimes a year ahead, if they would at least have, if Omega can even show up. But let's get to it. Our 2 cents about this Sunday's Forbidden Door. One thing we didn't talk about, it's right here at the beginning. We get to talk about it. Never mind. We're going to talk about last night just momentarily. Forbidden Door coming up this Sunday.
Oh, yeah.
Highly anticipated, I would say, as far as I'm concerned, to have two big companies like this do something like this. Not that it's never been done, but it's kind of a little bit of
for business, a
larger scale. Now, this was last night's show as a kind of, because Rampage isn't always live, this is kind of like the go home, I guess. Mm-hmm. And we got the final spot in the 4-way, which has also been changed now because someone in the chat also pointed it out. Let me find it. Ishii suffered a injury, and now he's out of the 4-way. So he was the representative from New Japan that's fighting in the Pac, Miro, and Malachi Black match.
And he's going to be replaced by Clark
Connors, Griswold, who was in the match that was qualified to get in, I believe. I could be wrong. I'm not sure, but
I've never even heard the name before.
The Christian promo is what I kind of wanted to tap on a little bit because he got to cut his heel promo now that he's finally turned.
I told you what I thought before we went live. I mean, I felt like it went on forever, and there was really no point to it besides him saying that Jungle Boy's dad was dead. But I don't think you needed that entire promo to get to that.
Yeah. I mean, it was a lot of knock down the city and everything else. Typical heel promo. I got to get over the heel type shit. But it could have been a little shorter. I guess I agree with you on that.
Yeah,
the funny
and
part
I
to me
expect
was,
more from Christian.
The funny part to me was when when he said the fans were doing "shut the fuck up" chants, and the first thing they show is like a 10-year-old literally mouthing "shut the fuck up," and I'm like, "Oh, that's good, great camera work, dude." Like right when it started, the kid had to be 10, 9, or 8 at least. Young.
His parents were loving it.
He was like looking around, like if he was okay to say. He was like, "Yeah, shut the." I was going to try to catch a screen cap of it or something. But the other thing was Bryan Danielson made an announcement in his little promo, which when he said good news,
it's going to be
good news, bad news. When he said that, I was like, I guess the good news was it wasn't a retirement promo. Like he's not injured or hurt. He didn't even say what this specific injury was. So, and to me, that's between them and their doctors. To be honest, I don't really care if they can't perform and be on the show.
I hope it stays like that.
Yeah, me too. We figure out we know too much about the behind the scenes of I don't want to know about their personal lives and stuff.
Right, right.
I really don't. I want them to perform entertainment. This stuff to me takes me away from the real world so I can enjoy the show. That's what I'm here for. I don't want to, I understand they're real people. We talked about that a million times, and et cetera, et cetera. Yeah. But the hype for the show got a little better. They named 4 more matches last night on this show. And it was good to see people like Ospreay, Tanahashi actually in matches and fighting. Because I think those guys are phenomenal. I haven't seen as much, like me and CJ have talked a million times. We're not big on the New Japan scene, but I know the ones I have seen stick out like a thumb. Like the 4 or 5.
Ospreay is like unreal, dude.
Even that tag team, boy, those 2 dudes he have with him are dope,
I like
man. That Mark Davis and I forget the other guy's name, but the big bruiser guy. I mean, those they got persona, they got charisma. It was a
really good match, man. I'm actually looking forward to Ospreay and Orange Cassidy.
I think Orange Cassidy's going to turn some heads on this one because you're going to see the
actual wrestling side.
That's what I was about to just say. It's going to morph into that, and you're going to be like, wow, it's going to be something else.
But I think the reason I just wanted to talk briefly about last night was that there's a different way. Like, we're also fine-tuned on how WWE prepares for pay-per-views. Yeah. You get the hype, you get a match with they're in a tag team maybe. They need a lot of the same matches for a while. And you get that. I mean, it's a different, to me, it's a different feel coming out of these heading into a pay-per-view. I'm more excited about that pay-per-view when I watch these go-home shows than I am the WWE. I guess that's my point. And I came out last night the same way. I wasn't like any big, huge moments last night, but it was like I'm more hyped about it. Now, this is one of the matches they made right off the bat. I don't know a damn thing, I'll be honest, about.
Only one I've heard of is Alex Coughlin.
But this is the thing here is
Scissor Me Daddy.
Max Caster and the Ass Boys are over as fuck right now.
Yes, they are.
Huge with the scissors and the Big Daddy ass, tell them and all this and the messing up the names of the hometown thing. It's a great shtick right now. I think, I don't know. I'd like to see a little push for Max, I guess, if he's going to be.
I agree. I think he's great.
I love Max Caster.
When you hear his music, you know something gold's coming out of his mouth. Rap every time.
Always.
Like, and that's entertainment. That's good stuff for me.
When we were at that event, remember Bodie popped whenever the Acclaimed come out. That's when was still wrestling. Bowens, he was not injured yet, but my God, it was. I thought Max Caster had a phenomenal match then, and
the whole dynamic against they don't want to be called the Ass Boys, but the Ass Boy chants are so over and stuff like. I dig it. I love it.
You could thank Danhausen for that one, man. Danhausen just
works.
Very true. Cassie's in the house. Good to see you, Cassie. So I love it. I like a little entertainment with my wrestling. Don't get me wrong. So we'll see. I'm surprised there's not more for 8-man tag matches because that's what a lot of New Japan stuff's famous for that too. There's a lot of fights again in this pay-per-view. It's going to be a long one. I don't know about the Dudes with Attitudes name, and I don't know a lot about.
I don't know who those other 2 guys.
Shingo Takagi and Hiromu Takahashi. Now I've
heard of Shingo.
But
not the other guy.
Yeah, I've heard a little bit of hype for both of them to join these guys because I guess their personas kind of match up as well. So we'll see. And then on Wednesday night, the Bullet Club, the Bucks saying basically they're going to one night only be back at the Bullet Club. And that's going to be that match. El Phantasmo and Hikuleo joining them. I don't know much about Phantasmo, but I've heard him and Desperado are pretty amazing over there.
Yeah, I've heard of Hikuleo.
Like, I'm looking forward to these new guys. Like, because like we said earlier, I know New Japan's famous for good fighting, good actual wrestling and grappling, and along with some decent storytelling within the match, like we've talked about. So I know I'm getting that. So I'm excited to be introduced to these new guys, to be honest. I'm not on the other side of the coin saying, who are they? Why are they here? I'd rather see 18 John Moxleys, and stuff like that. But yeah, we're going to miss the CM Punks and the Bryan Danielsons and such. And here's the poll. Let's check on the poll right now in the live.
You ready? I'll answer for all of us.
It is 65%. Yeah.
Oh, wait. No. This isn't the one I was thinking of, I don't think.
Yes, it is. Danielson comes out, does his interview. He says he wants to fight him, and two of the best technical wrestlers.
You ready? On three. We'll do it in unison. 1, 2, 3. Cesaro.
I thought Cesaro too.
So yeah, that's the biggest name floating around. And here's the clues where it was going to be another technical wrestler, and it's going to be the next member of the Blackpool Combat Club, is what Daniel Bryan said.
It would only make sense to be Cesaro, but I would actually also be okay with Johnny Gargano.
Yeah, Gargano and Gresham.
Extremely happy to see that too.
People are, as much as I'd love to see Gresham be the one as well, out of those three that were named that I just threw in there or other, I think it would be a letdown, not because Gresham isn't great, but because Cesaro's already rumored one to be there, and it's not as great, I would say, even though I think Gresham and Sabre can put on a great show. Sabre's the one, the four that I'm thinking from New Japan. I'm really excited to finally get their shine, on something like this. And I don't know. I'm happy to see that they want to continue doing it.
Mm-hmm.
This is a year seems to be a long way. Or like, will they mix other, companies? Yeah. I don't know. We'll see. So the rumor is Cesaro. I'm sure. I guess he'll be called Claudio.
I hope.
He's going
Claudio Castagnoli.
He's going by that CSRO name. What's stopping him from having his last name CSRO and still pronounce Cesaro? What's stopping that?
Nothing, I don't think.
No, I don't think pronunciation can be held on copyright with the word.
No.
He's spelling it differently. He could be Claudio Cesaro.
I'd rather him be Claudio Castagnoli.
Yeah. Is that his legit real name?
That's a very good question.
Yeah.
I don't think I ever asked him, and I've worked with him a numerous amount of times. Yeah, this is going to be the show stealer. I'm telling you right now.
Yeah. So, actually, out of the first two, I don't know if we've had any differences. If it's going to be Cesaro, do you guys think Cesaro gets over on Zack Sabre Jr.?
No. I think Zack Sabre Jr. beats him up. I think it'll be a close one, but I think Sabre Jr. goes over, and I think that sets up Danielson or Sabre Jr. saying, okay, Danielson, are you scared? You sent him after me. What are you going to do next? And then you're going to see Danielson and Sabre.
And Danielson could just be throwing everybody a big shield, and he could be good to go.
I wouldn't mind that either. I love being swerved.
Well, no, I'm not saying for that match, but soon there.
Oh, sooner than okay, I got you.
Yeah.
Which would be cool. If they do carry on a couple of whatever goes on here, like I hope it's not an end of all this. Like if a couple things bleed over to the next couple shows, especially because I'm sure that Blood and Guts isn't the only match on Wednesday. I'm sure it might be probably most of the show, but you can tack on a couple.
PFW, I like Orange as well, but I think you got to have Ospreay go over.
Yeah, you have to make Ospreay. He's dominant as it is. Make him the dominant one. You're not going to hurt Orange if Orange takes a 1, 2, 3.
Yeah.
So unless anybody was going to pick the New Japan dojo over the Gun Club and Caster, all three of us are selecting the same three so far.
Yeah, and that's fine. We'll all be winners.
I talked about this last week a little bit because we were introduced when Cassidy showed up to find out they were probably going to fight the Big T's. And originally I said, and I know it's going to be a good match because they can both go. And I like the surprising aspect of Cassidy because he puts off the nonchalant act at first, and then he shows you he can go.
Yeah,
I like it. And some of the shit he does is phenomenal. Same thing with Ospreay. Originally, I was hoping Ospreay would be fighting one of the Adam Coles or the Hangmans or one of the considered top tier guys. Although I named my 4 horsemen last week, and 2 of them were Guevara and Ricky Starks. So, I mean, I love the wave of new young talent. If you throw in Jungle Boy, Hook, Cassidy, all these young dudes, I love them getting their shine. So the more I thought about it, yes, I'm excited about this match. And like CJ said, could be a show stealer.
I think it is going to be.
Anything
I'll
else
be very
on this
surprised if it's not.
No, I mean, I'm interested on where they're going to put it in the card, to be honest, at this point. Like, I put it early in this just for
I say you open the show with it.
And AEW is famous for starting off hot, and I love that way. I love that idea. That reminds me of the old cruiserweight matches that used to start off WCW shows and get you fired up. Now, this is the one where they all had qualifying matches for this All-Atlantic Championship, and we just talked about Ishii's injury.
Clark Griswold will be taking over.
So, yeah, Clark Connors, Griswold from the side coming out.
Yeah. Real Heinz tomato ketchup, Eddie.
See, we got some people that really know about it. Yeah, I don't know, Andy Price. We'll see. I'm hoping they do pull off a couple little surprises and things like that.
To me, for me, you got to give this to Miro.
I agree. What about you, Doc?
I want Miro, but I think Black gets it because Black's put in a lot of time now.
I'm okay with either of them, but I prefer it to be Miro.
Yeah, I think it's going to be either Miro or Black in my eyes. Because you can't really hurt anything with Pac, So,
but you're going with Malachi in the pick, Doc. Because I'm going.
Oh yeah, you don't pick. Okay. Yeah, I'll take Malachi.
Okay. So that's the first disagreement we had, and you can't go wrong either way. They both deserve it. For fuck's sake, Pac deserves it too. If you really want to argue.
Yeah, definitely.
But the idea behind the title, we'll see if it stays the same as territorial kind of thing, like international championship type of feel.
It does.
Yeah, I think so. Make it unique. I'm down with unique championships if they have a little twist or some kind of niche that they attach to. All right, this match was foreshadowed a couple weeks ago when Cobb and O'Khan kind of attacked the match between Roppongi Vice and FTR, but now it's going down.
You're going to be surprised by my pick on this.
This is winner take all, which is interesting.
Oh, see, I did not. No, you sure? Oh, it is.
Yeah, this is winner take all.
Okay.
Both championship title belts are on the line. The IWGP and the ROH. Not the AAA, even though they're the AAA titles holders also, FTR. And that's the whole AAA thing. It's kind of weird.
Yeah, because there's heat.
They say AAA can't fight here, but FTR can't. It's almost like saying if you're Mexican, you can't, is what they're trying to say, basically. Because like Andrade, Penta, they didn't get to fight there. They can't fight. It's kind of weird. I don't know.
I'll see Penta on Thursday.
Really?
Yeah.
I don't know all the politics behind that, why they can't fight and stuff, but it's just, with this show, it's like, we're not getting the forbidden door, but we're going to get something, hopefully, like you guys are saying, more than I expect, because I am going in with kind of low expectations.
So, time out, wait, I heard, you said you're seeing Penta on Thursday?
Yeah. Yep.
For what?
A show that we are on together.
Oh, I didn't know you were doing, you're doing a show on Thursday?
Yep. WrestleRex.
Okay.
At the former Rex Theater, it's now called the Enclave.
This next Thursday?
Yeah, the 30th.
So we need to do a remote show from the show at WrestleRex.
If you would leave the house, goddammit. No, I'm playing. But you're going to be...
I didn't know that was...
Yeah.
I mean, someone teased last week at the end of the show having two people here sort out their differences for an upcoming match in our local scene here, which I would definitely be down for. I think you dropped that, Doc.
Yeah, we're gonna be talking. I'm trying to get it worked out here, so we'll see what happens.
That sounds enticing. Now, all right. So does this match. So Cobb and Great O'Khan, two beasts, and then we got obviously the greatest tag team in the world, FTR, and Roppongi Vice. I don't know the history. I know they were a team before, and to see them come back and they're fighting, it's a little bit of taste of New Japan and AEW as well there. So CJ, go ahead, drop it on us.
This is I know I'm probably going to be wrong, but I'm okay with being wrong on this. I'm going Roppongi Vice.
Oh, okay. Is there any reasoning behind it or not, or just a shock value, or just to get some wins over on the New Japan kind side, technically, if you will?
I think there's a big history, obviously, with Roppongi Vice in New Japan and Cobb and Great O'Khan. So.
Well, we do have Ospreay and Sabre winning so far, so it actually would be 2-2 if you go versus, if you will.
Yeah, right. No,
so-
I'm going Roppongi Vice. I'm
I dig
probably
it.
going to be wrong, but I'm okay being wrong on that.
Hey,
one.
them coming back, they're getting nice pops. They got a little bit of momentum. Why the hell not? Doc, what's your say on it?
I was thinking Roppongi Vice too, just because of the history they have with New Japan and all that. So
Yeah.
I was sticking with that
Okay.
too.
All right.
Because
So two good
Roppongi Vice could always take on FTR because they're both within the AEW
True.
moniker.
Right.
So that's where I was
Very
going.
true.
That's why I thought that up ahead of time. I was like, wow.
Yeah.
So as soon as you said you were going to shock the world with that, I was like, oh, God, he's
You
gonna pick-
already knew what I was gonna
yeah.
say.
I was like, God damn it.
Now, I'm hoping we get anything close to the 6-man Super Notches in the house. Good to see you, my friend. Something close to the 6-man 3-way tag we got not too long ago in AEW as well.
Mhm.
So, I mean, because it seems like they got a nice little go at it and just have at it with those matches, and I'm down for it. Me, give all the belts to FTR, the greatest tag team in the world. Give them all.
I don't disagree
All
with
of
that.
I
That
don't
probably is
disagree
who's
either,
going to
but-
win it. But
Yeah, I'm going FTR.
okay.
I think it's their time to hold all the gold they can and just be like, I mean, I mentioned it last week a little bit too, and it is a little, not totally yet, but you look at a bunch of different companies, there's multiple people with more than one championship.
Yeah.
Doesn't bug me yet, but it could be like, if it seems like the thing nowadays to carry
But if
around
you're
2
going to
titles.
do it, FTR is the team to
Yeah,
do
go.
it.
yeah, give them the belts, give them
All
all
right.
the titles, give them it all. I don't know how they win because those are 2 big teams there. Thunder Rosa, Tony Storm, you got to get a women's match in there. I agree, and I'm a big Tony Storm fan.
Yeah, me too.
But I'm gonna start it out by saying Thunder Rosa needs to win bigger to establish her title reign, and go with Thunder Rosa with the win. Doc,
Thunder Rosa handshakes at the end.
CJ,
I'm going Tony Storm.
yeah, I dig it. I
I'm
mean,
going Tony
it's
Storm.
hard for me not to. I love Thunder Rosa because I watch her taco vlogs, and I really dig it. To be honest, is one part.
She is one of the sweetest people
Yeah.
ever.
One of the coolest. Like, she just seems so personable, but so
She
kick
is.
ass. Like,
She
that's
is.
the perfect personality. It's tough to say that you would want in your favorite wrestler. You want someone who's, real cool and friendly and fun, but at the same time could be a beast in the ring and rip your damn arm off. I love me some Tony Storm.
I do too. I'm in love with Tony Storm, but I mean,
Yeah,
it's-
she's
Oof.
phenomenal, and she can fight too at the same
Mhm.
time. So that's a tough one. All right, we got a little bit of a split there. We didn't pick the Pac Miro. Yeah, we did.
Yeah, we did.
Jericho and Archer and
No,
Moxley and Tasha.
they're still coming.
All
right, yes, sir. Jericho, Suzuki, and Guevara. I'm liking we talked about
Wait.
last week a little bit too. Jericho back
Yeah.
with Sammy. Jericho and Sammy kind of partnered up
That
again.
match was last night that you're thinking of.
Yeah, that's right.
And
I-
then Kingston. I'm a big Kingston fan too, and I don't know anything about Uminu, so that's the New Japan. I'm excited to see what he can do. I'm taking
This is-
Jericho in this one.
Yeah, this is a tough one.
I think you let Kingston have his moment of blood and guts. That's why I'm going Team Jericho too.
Okay.
Yeah, same.
So all 3 of us are same on this one again. So
Mhm.
okay, it's only our 3rd one same. We got a couple of them that are split up, but once again, I understand the 6-man, 8-man stuff. Get them in, get as many of these nice little dream match combination things we can do. I love Suzuki. I didn't know much about him before his little run here. That
Me
he's come
neither.
in, and then I did a little research and watched some of his old
Me
matches where
Like,
he's
whenever
literally
the crowd was singing his entrance music
Yeah.
the first time, I'm like, man, this guy must be a big fucking deal.
I love it. I love the way he fights. So, and obviously he's been around for a while too. So he's not like a new wrestler. So I dig it. Takeshita. I always want to call him Take a Shitta because that's the way his name's spelled. Take shit up. But Takeshita is a star. That dude, he's young. He's big. I think that dude's going to be a legend. And he's really young too. So I'm digging that dude. I like
Yeah,
to introduce
yeah,
him.
I agree.
That Takeshita's big time. This is big time to me. I think this is my match I'm really looking forward to out of all of them. I would love to see Jay White versus Adam Cole and have Okada versus Page, but I dig why they're all tied together in the story and for the title.
Mm-hmm.
So it's one of the ones where there is some, like, a lot of people are complaining. I'm not complaining, so don't get me wrong. I'm just reporting. No, complaining about the overall build for Forbidden Door because it is kind of a little bit late that they're like, here's our last 4 matches, here's these matches.
I mean, I'm
okay with it, but there is a lot
Yeah.
of people that are saying there's really not a lot of build for a lot of these matches here. And
But
you can't
here's
really
the
have
thing.
it.
I don't think there needs to be.
No.
It's New Japan and AEW. That's the build.
and last week we also talked about, like in football, next man up. Someone's injured, someone's got to step up. And luckily, we've been talking about weeks, well, not necessarily down on it, but the fact that, yes, Tony Khan's hired a lot of people, but it looks like it came in pretty fucking handy when a bunch of people were hurt and shit.
Yeah.
Or, and Ray even talked about, it was last week or the week before, how they structure their contracts and all those different tiers, where if someone's taking time off or they're temporary or they're, each every time they fight, they get paid. There's so many different ways to get paid that he's really keeping the door open, pardon the pun, for shit like this to happen. So CJ, who's your pick on this one?
All right, here we go.
I can see all four winning this.
I'm going Hangman Page.
Okay.
To make up for the fact that he lost to Punk and Punk got hurt. Maybe you give him this nod to kind of, just get him back up there.
Okay. I'm digging that. People in the chat, make sure you guys let us know too. And Doc, what do you think?
Jay White, it's his time. You don't want to. He just got the belt. Why ruin a run like that? So I say Jay White. White retains.
Oh, that's why I'm so torn, because I know that he just got it, and he's cutting these badass promos recently. There's all that Bullet Club blood between all these different people now, which I like seeing kind of come together. I was kind of hoping to see, even though the Young Bucks were rejoining Bullet Club for one night only, the Undisputed Elite versus the Bullet Club. I was looking forward to something like that too, if they were going to do
which you're still going to see, I think, down the line.
Yeah, like a click versus click type thing here, while they could strike while the iron's hot. But yeah, I'm hoping maybe they can make this like a Clash of Champions thing and do it every 6 months or something, like the old school Clash of Champions.
Yeah.
I don't know who to pick here. I really don't. I guess least likely, even though I'd love to see him as champ and be able to defend it there, and here would be Adam Cole. Plus, he's coming off of winning that tournament, too, so he's got a little bit of heat behind him.
Yeah.
Okada has had his shine on the big stage before. Everyone knows he's a legend.
That is one name I do know.
His pop coming the other night. Plus, because 2 weeks ago they said he's not coming.
Yeah.
So they threw that little, curveball at us to make us think he wasn't coming. Then he does. And I was hoping for the four-way when that happened and they did the standoff. I could see him winning it back. I love the Hangman Page angle, just like CJ said. I have a hard time taking it off of Jay White right after.
I got a really stupid fucking question right now.
Good.
All right.
What does IWGP stand for?
International Wrestling Grand Prix.
Okay.
We're just going to go with it.
Yeah. I heard it the other day, and literally I was like a couple days old since I just heard that too, and I always wondered what IWGP is.
Yeah.
I know the last two is Grand Prix, and Andy Price and some of the guys Brandon knows out in the chat will correct us if we're wrong. Trust me. But I think it's International Wrestling Grand Prix. I don't know if it's international, but I know it's a Grand Prix at the end, because I was like, oh, that stands for Grand Prix.
Yes, International Wrestling Grand Prix.
Yeah. Yeah, right. I literally heard that yesterday, and I was like, I thought to write it down to talk about it, but my fucking sheet is already completely full. I didn't want to put something else. So thank you, CJ. You read my mind. So, all right, 2 Jay Whites and a Page on that one. And then the main event. And I'm not mad at this main event at all, because once you look a little bit into it, they do have a little history. And
his quest to fight this man, Moxley's quest to fight Tanahashi, finally happens. He gets this dream match, and it's for the interim AEW World Championship.
Doc, do you want to do the honors?
Yeah.
Go ahead.
Moxley.
I was the one last week who said, fuck it. Put it on Tanahashi long enough to keep this Forbidden Door angle kind of tethering to AEW. Have him fight a couple more dream matches with some other people until Punk is better, so you can still have the match you were supposed to have.
The visas, though.
Pay-per-view for him to win it back.
The visas. You got to see how
it's a
long
lot different having these people stay over here for longer periods.
Yeah, I know. That's me trying to justify both sides. I said that last week. I'm still so about 50-50 on this, because I think that's newsworthy, the way to go, if they can, like you guys are saying, make it happen without travel problems or anything else that we don't know about.
Right.
Issues that's keeping him from sticking around for a few weeks, I guess, should say, or a few months or whatever. But if he could and run, I'm saying the same thing for fucking Ospreay and Sabre too. Because those two, I can name you 10 people I'd love to see those two fight.
Yes.
Yeah, but they're not coming from Japan, really, are they?
No,
I know they have that New Japan Strong thing over here too, and they fight there and there. But so I don't know how realistic it is for us to see more of this. I guess ratings and shit are going to have a big thing to do with it, even though it's not all the names we wanted. How good this event does, and they talked about this the other day too. Watching a podcast that could dictate whether or not there will be more of them. If it's a bomb, this could. Some people are saying this could very easily bomb and be a shitty show.
I don't think it's going to.
I don't either. I'm very hopeful, but I'm actually going to stick with my original pick and say Tanahashi wins it. Even though you guys have that, I want to be the devil's advocate on the other side of the coin. I'm pretty sure the right move right now is giving Moxley the first. You got the first ever 2-time tag champs, and now the first ever 2-time world champ.
Well, now interim.
Yeah, that's the other thing. Like,
and
I don't
like
mind
that they're actually calling it once Punk comes back. It's going to be a unification. Yes, I feel like that kind of got lost with the whole TNT thing.
Let's not walk around with 2 belts again. I didn't even like when Omega won those 2 from Impact and was carrying him around. Remember when Omega was
I didn't mind.
I was just hoping he'd unify him. I was just hoping he'd say, okay, it's enough of this shit. These 2 are pretty much the same damn thing. We're just going to use this one, or they're going to tell him, when he was the belt collector. But the idea behind the belt collector is have as many belts as you can have. I get it. So the aesthetic of him holding all those belts.
PFW, I'd actually not always been a Moxley fan until recently. So we'll see.
He said PFW's always been a Moxley fan.
Yeah. That's what I'm saying. I actually haven't always been.
Yeah, see that's kind of where I'm at, Andy Price. We kind of make it, keep a buzz about Forbidden Door for a while and see how it goes. I think that's it. I throw something else in at the end here.
Hey, Bodie, pick Moxley or Tanahashi.
Tanahashi.
Oh wow!
Yeah,
Bodie's going with Tanahashi. Okay.
So he knows, shock the system, man. Make the news. All right. We're going to talk a little indie stuff, some fun stuff, and get our final words at the end of the day. We got some big news here, so stick around, folks. I mean, we'll have to discuss this later on because I'm not totally against this idea next Thursday of a road trip for the show. If it can work.
Let me know.
I don't know how realistic we'd be able to do a broadcast. I've never done a broadcast.
If you look at one of my most recent Facebook posts from today, it has some of the guys that are going to be there. Bandito was supposed to be there, but he, I guess, got injured. So
where is it? WrestleRex.
Yeah, might as well here. At the end of the day, in the South Side, the old Rex Theater.
Oh, okay.
On Carson Street.
Okay, so it's right in the South Side. Okay, gotcha.
Yeah, Look, your audio and video isn't matching up for some reason, Blaze.
Mine?
Something's weird.
Mine? Yours is a little choppy right now.
There's
too.
Everything was fine.
I don't know. Yours is
well,
better
we're at
now.
the end of the day, so we're at the end of the day.
At the end of the day, this Thursday,
we might be coming on location
in the South Side of Pittsburgh, Pennsylvania, and also last Saturday at IWC, there were 2 title changes of the IWC World Heavyweight Championship. Big time Bill Collier defeated Bulk Nasty for the IWC World Heavyweight Championship. And then Mandime Elijah Dean cashed in the reset button and beat Bill Collier. So Bill Collier had a 38-second world title reign.
Oh, geez.
So
I saw that highlight. I forget what
I'm sure that's not going to be the end of that one.
No.
So
I think Mandine pushed a button on a one-man ass-kicking machine. It's kind of
pretty much.
So to explain it, it's like a briefcase.
It's like a Money in the Bank type of deal, but it's a reset button laptop. So
I dig it.
And at the end of the day, life is good. I'm getting settled in at the new job. Busy day tomorrow. So that's all I got.
All right, Sir Doc, at the end of the Dizzy, my friend.
At the end of the day, I am honored and privileged to be a part of a multi-promotional kind of, I wouldn't say forbidden door, but sort of forbidden doorway. There's
Same
multiple.
idea.
Not quite, but same.
Nah, not
concept.
quite. Yeah, not quite.
Not
But,
forbidden.
Not forbidden. Multiple independent wrestling promotions were coming together, basically central PA. If y'all have heard about in Altoona, PA, and in Johnstown, PA, they have a thing called Thunder in the Valley. It's motorcycles, bikers everywhere. It's insane. They party up at Johnstown. But they're doing a show, believe it or not, they're doing a show at the First Summit Arena in Cambry County War Memorial, which has a lot of wrestling prestige. I actually took Bodie for a minute. Speaking of Bodie, So anyways, like I was saying, on the wall, you had Andre the Giant. I think even Hogan's name's on there. It's just Bruno Sammartino. Just some of the greats in wrestling have wrestled in this building.
Memorial, yeah.
So some of the people that are going to be at this is, of course, at Thundercade, we're calling it Ace Austin taking on Caprice Coleman. So I think that's going to be awesome. JTG, formerly of Crime Time, taking on Elijah Cruz.
Ace Austin has a title right now. Isn't he X Division champ?
He's Bullet Club too.
Yeah, he's also a Bullet Club too. That's right.
Yes, he is, Drum.
We have Eclipse Wrestling, which I'm also a part of. Adina Steele and Kit Raff are going to be against Ring of Honor's Rhett Titus and a woman by the name of Sahara 7. So we got an intergender match there. Freak Show Funhouse, Sweet Money Inc., Tag Team Champions of Eclipse, putting their belts on the line against the Freak Show, which is going to be it's going to be mayhem throughout the arena. Nice. Grapple Vices, which you've seen, they've actually been on AEW Dark, and that they're going to take on a team of the Culmination, which myself and CJ Sensation are both very familiar with, of the New Age Plague, Jason Gorey, and of course the Mind Eraser, Remy LeVay. So that's going to be awesome. I'm excited about that. 2PW, another company that me and CJ are involved, are going to be taking on to 2PW Tag Team Champions. The Brotherhood are going to be taking on the Saturday Night Special, who's representing AON. AON has a big rivalry with Eclipse every year. And like these two promotions fight it out. It's insane. But Saturday Night Special, what can I say about these guys? They are the contributors of the Spearmint Rhino. We're not going to go any further than that, but I'm excited to call that matchup. I'm excited. Ricardo Rodriguez. That's right. Alberto Del Rio's ring announcer will be in action.
I'll see him Thursday too. He'll be there.
Nice. Yeah, he's going to be taking on Zach Ramses. He's going to be, of course, Rodriguez representing WWE. I guess that's what they have in here. And AON is going to be represented by Zach Ramses. The Anarchy Tag Team matches is just pretty much a whole show of 2PW. We got the Hossman Inc. taking on Death and Destruction. No love lost there between, of course, Stevie LaBelle and Peyton Graham. Peyton Graham taking the Anarchy championship from him last month. The King Beast Jai Cole. Jai Cole is one of the most phenomenal wrestlers I've seen in a long time, man. And he is the actual champion for AON. He gets a surprise opponent. All I got to say to you guys is that I'm waiting for this big man to ascend. Ascend from the ashes. So that's all the hint I'll give there. The Regent Joshua Kavanagh taking on Harley T. Morris, two great up and comers. Flood City Street Fight, two legends in the Johnstown, Altoona area. Randall Fairway taking on Black Lightning. These guys pretty much this is pretty much like a local version of Dusty Rhodes and Ric Flair. These two are going to beat the hell out of each other everywhere. Can't wait. And then last but not least, for the Eclipse Championship, Project X taking on Gunner, a.k.a. Jackson Riker, formerly of WWE. I'm excited for that one. It's going to be a good one. So these two are going to battle it out. So much matches to call. I don't even know which ones I'm on because there's a bunch of us commentators going to be there. Of course, represent 2PW, AON, Eclipse. Is there any other promotions? I just We'll make sure I don't miss anybody.
at
Oh yeah,
least three-
KSW Ray is going to be
Oh,
there.
Wow,
Yeah,
four
yeah.
different promotions.
Yeah, so there's like 4 or 5 different promotions. I'm excited, and you guys can still get tickets. And if you want to come out to the show and travel, that's fine. I know a lot of you live out of state. Saturday, June 25th, meet and greets at 3 p.m. Bell time 5 p.m. Tickets are on sale now. You can go to www.phxshows.com. So it's going to be an awesome time. So definitely come check it out.
Awesome, always. It's amazing how much shit's going down around
Yes.
here. So you definitely support local indie wrestling wherever you're at. Now I was trying to remember what I was going to click on here before. Oh yeah, I told you guys are on point. Speedball Mike Bailey won the Ultimate X. That dude's tearing it up. Speedball Mike Bailey.
Yeah.
Hearing his name a lot.
Slammiversary all around was a really good show. I enjoyed it.
That's what I'm hearing from people. I caught some of it as well. And it's a shame. I mean, Impact's got some good stuff going on there, man.
Yeah, I dig it.
But at the end of the day, we want to say we miss our friends Ray and Eric so much that it's kind of good to see a smile on Doc's face, like for most of the show. Though.
Hey, what can I say? It was a good time. It's a good time.
Yeah, good time as always. As always, I'll be live for LTD Wrestling EFED style in just a few minutes, and then next Thursday we might be back. We might not. We might be at.
I won't be. Yeah,
Okay.
obviously, but yeah.
Kathy Madden
Oh,
Red
yeah.
put up a link for you guys to make sure you check it out. There's Doc's link that he just
Thanks, Cass.
mentioned.
Appreciate it.
Make sure you guys check that out. See what's popping around here in the area. And hey, man, one way or another, we'll be seeing you soon here in the streams from the side.
Oh yeah.
We're out of here, people. We will see you as soon as we can.